do this. All right. Now, for the purpose of that, let's start all over again. Okay. Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Today's
Good
training.
afternoon,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, I already actually said that. This is for the recording purposes. Sorry. Um, um, Today's session at 2:08 is a training for group classes, group teaching. So basically, let's go over this PPT, all right, really quickly. So first page, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, let's pass it. Second page is the table of contents. Like I said before, expectation, really important. Know your opponent. And then class performance is something that we're going to talk about, spend a lot of time on. And then smart switch, basically, I'll show you a few examples that, here and there. That means level teaching. General class setup, student-teacher interaction in class. I'm gonna tell you something about this, which we will cover later on in the training. And then also class presentation. Okay, you're the
All
alpha
right.
and the omega in your class. So you're like a god in there. Okay, one-on-one classes, I don't know. Okay, because the customer becomes the center. But in a group lesson, you are the absolutely the center. All right. So let's just go on with expectations. Now, I believe for some of you guys, if not, and I know Teacher Princess, I've trained her on this already. This is a very easy diagram, okay, chart, or if you will, that shows a very simple relationship between you, the student, and some unknown factors, okay? Now, unlike the one-on-one classes where this area, okay, we would have parents, mommy and daddy, possibly grandparents and whatever. But in here that we have Chinese teachers, okay? So they will be, corresponding with you. And as a matter of fact, forgive me if I say this, you are the center of the class, but you're not the determined factor, okay? Who is? The Chinese teacher right here. Okay, right here. Now, the Chinese teacher, locally in the school will, of course, talk to the students. Do you like the class? Do you like the teacher? And also, they have one more important job is to communicate directly with the schoolmaster or the academic director, whoever that's in charge of this. Okay, so on the left side and on the right side, people who wearing mics, those are our teachers. So understanding this, okay, the reason why I put this guy in suit and tie in the middle is that the schoolmaster, becomes very, very important role. Even though he's not in one of your classes, even though he does not talk to you directly, but he is the determined factor. Okay, so basically, let me make this very, very strict for you guys. It's not the student the student who says, I love this teacher's great. It weighs some points, but not entirely. Okay, so understanding this. Now the second page, I'm just gonna also the expectations. All right, the first one in blue is fun and interesting class. The reason why I put that in the first column is that is the most important factor in your class. Okay, so if you have a very successful class, that means you've done a great job, a fantastic job in this area. Okay, so a translation is student who focus on the class, stare at the screen, because they, unlike one-on-one classes, it's like a 15.4 inches monitor. That's pretty much the biggest one. In a group lesson or group classes, they'll get up to like 80 inches. One of those really big screen. Okay, so instead of having everybody just sit there, which when I monitor previous group classes, that's like the norm, okay? Where the student just kind of, they're just like sitting there. So instead of having them sit there, the class should appear to be more live and energetic, which I will explain. I'll give you examples later on, okay?
All right.
So everybody look at this clip art which I put on the bottom. This is actually a boy playing computer games. All right. Obviously, he likes the game. He's more attracted to the game. So you don't see him drinking a sip of water. You don't see him wandering around. Right. So that's what it is. Now the second one in orange is plenty of practices. Okay, translation, lots of guided repetitions produce from the student side, produce words and sentences. All right, this is very, very important. Okay, now you can forget about the contents. Well, you know what? Let's cover that later on. Okay, all right. So most of the students in the class, speak together as loud as they can. Will be a huge success. Okay, so basically, you might want to do something with your, earphone or headphone. So when everybody, 15, 20, 25, 30, I'm not going to go any further, all right, students in that whole confined area start to shouting out words and sentences or short phrases, that almost hurting your ear, that to us, or at least to the schoolmaster, will be considered as a very successful class. Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, recursive and leveled learning cycle. Whoa, hold on a second. People say, "What the? Oh, come on, P. Don't give us all these abstract words and whatever." So basically, what this means is really, really simple. All right. Some of you guys might already heard of this. The IQR system. Introduction, question, and reward. That's all there is. Okay. So there is got to be something in the class. Okay. I actually left the word here. It should be constantly, that will make the student wants to attend the next class. Okay, one of the biggest problems that we face today with group lessons is that the student oh my god, I've never done this before. The first time, the second time, the third time, fourth and fifth times they like this class, and once they got used to this, they'll be like, you know what, this is just one of those 25-minute classes, no biggie. And then all the teachers I've talked to before, they've noticed a sudden drop in the interest level. Okay, something that will make the student feel big, feel great, and feel safe. Okay, so look at the clip on the bottom. You see a cat. All right, what color is that? Brown cat. All right, when the cat looks into the mirror, he doesn't see the cat himself. He sees a lion, something that will make him, a cat is cat, a lion is a lion, even though they all belong in the same, genophobia. But, that's what I mean. I'll explain this, further. The fourth factor, which is very important, is sort of like a combination of the first, the factor in blue, factor in orange, and factor in green, is that learning a comprehensive English. Now, I have to stress that comprehension in this case, it's not what you think. Okay, so it basically means the student need to understand what's being taught in class, words, sentences. All right, and then students need to reply. Reply to whom? Hopefully not you. Okay, hopefully not the teacher. To whom? To the parents when they go home. Now, the reason why group lessons are more considered as more difficult, and that's why we charge people more, is that when you're doing one-on-one, it's almost like synchronizing lesson. Okay, I've explained before to some of the candidates, when you're teaching one-on-one, you see the student, but what you don't see is the mommy and daddy or the grandparents or somebody, okay, who's sitting right next to the student. You just don't see them from the camera. So basically, most of Chinese parents, they do understand English. They can kind of guess what the what the teacher's talking about, what this whole lesson is on. So it's almost like a synchronization. Okay. However, for the group lessons, the parents are nowhere near the classroom. So if you're teaching a class 10 o'clock in the morning, you have to wait. What, like 6:30, 7 o'clock when the student goes back to school, goes back to home. And then after dinner, which takes about another hour or so, and the parents may or may not ask the student, "Hey, you know what? I heard that you're starting your online classes. What did you learn today?" Now, notice this. All of you guys, you probably know, this memorization cycle, right? So if you have a class 10 o'clock in the morning, and when it gets down to 7 or 8 at night, chances are students will forget pretty much everything you have taught in the class. All right? Sad, but it's the reality. And that's why I say learning comprehensive English means the student need to understand and they need to reply. Reply to whom? Reply to their mommy and daddy at home, okay? Which is more difficult to do. So that's why I say, this last column, in purple, it's a combination of blue, orange, and green. Okay. In most cases, blue and orange. That's where plenty of practices comes in. Okay, so let's say if you're teaching 5 words for this lesson today, if you can get the whole class to yell out, to shout out 12 times for the same word, I can almost guarantee you that by 8 o'clock tonight, turns around and the parents ask, mommy and daddy ask Jason, let's say that's a student's name. What did you learn today? He will be able to at least produce 3 words. And that alone means something to the parents. Oh, great, nice. Now you know 3 words. Fantastic. All right. The worst case scenario would be, what did you learn today? I don't know. English, I'm guessing. And then, some nice parents will say, well, did you like the teacher? Was your teacher, a female teacher or like a male teacher? It's a girl, I think. Man, that's a big blown off, okay, to the parents. So let's go down to the same, class performance. Okay, now this was done before, so some of these factors, don't pay attention to. Now, in this video, it's the exact video that I sent to you guys, which I will use my video to explain in each category. The blues, the orange, the green, and the purple. So if you have seen, watched the video that I posted in our group, okay, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, now disregard to all these emoticons on the bottom. Okay, those are just something that we were trying to do, but right now we're getting pretty busy with curriculum R&Ds and whatever that has to push a little further. Probably like the end of this year. But this pattern right here, facial plus hand plus voice, is equal to stare at the screen. Okay? Now, if you recall from the video that I sent to you guys, that's a regular reading classes. Okay? Now, as you all know, teaching reading could be a little boring, could be a little difficult than just trying to teach, vocabulary and sentences and stuff like that. Okay? Now, when I was doing that group lesson, okay, I did my best to utilize my face, to utilize my hands, and also I was screaming. Okay, I was screaming something. I can't really remember what I was screaming. Okay, there was singing. Right. Well, there were singing in there. Okay, which if you if you listen to the video, listen to the song, I was actually making mistakes, because I didn't really know the song that well, and I'm not a natural singer or whatever, so it sounds terrible, okay? But actually, that's exactly what I want my students to hear. So if you're, you're pronouncing it right, you're singing it right, everything looks normal, maybe to high school kids, it's more acceptable. But to, younger kids, I don't know, like a preschool or like elementary school or even grade school, they don't find that funny. When they don't find that funny, they don't look at you. Bottom line, okay? So facial, hand, and voice, all 3 will give you a pretty, I would say, pretty complete control over your class. Okay. Now here I'm gonna give you just a very just one simple sample. Most of you guys should know this already. Okay. So just look at what I do basically. All right. I'll be going at my best. So let's just say. You know what? Let's just use, the example from the video. Okay, I believe I was teaching the word lion. Okay, so basically, there's a picture on the lesson plan already, which I circled it. Okay, and I pronounced it lion. Okay, because it's a letter L, initial L sound, lion. Okay, and then I've noticed the student or just like a few students were repeating this lion. And they weren't very enthusiasm about this. So basically what I did was I pretended to be a lion. I was like, la, okay, something like that. Not the best lion you could ever seen, but if you see the video, right after I performed this thing, almost all of the students from the class started to repeating what I do. And then right after I did that, I told the students to say lion, which they have. Okay, so this is a very simple example to have the students, because they see you. I'm gonna choose my words very, very carefully. Okay, well, at least at that time, they were seeing me as a clown. A very positive word, actually. A very positive thing, okay? Why? Because I had no idea, how to grab their attention. And because, and since there is a voice delay, so, it's almost impossible for me to just say, all right, that student, you're supposed to do, it's almost impossible for me to do that, okay? So, facial, hand, plus voice is equal to stare at the screen, okay? At least for the duration of that 25 minutes, okay? So later on, I'm gonna give you more examples on whatever. Second one is plenty of practices, okay? In the video, you see, okay? I believe each word I got them to say at least 3 times, and then I've came back to review at the end of the class, and that's another 3 to 4 times. Okay, so in total, each student probably repeat the word at least 6 or 7 times. Okay, now in that lesson, there's not a whole lot of patterns, sentence patterns, or whatever, but words. So get your students to shout out vocab or sentences together. Okay, that's the key. That's the only key in group lessons, because one, you have no control over the class, unlike one-on-one lessons. And two, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot always rely to the teacher who is in the classroom. If you're lucky, you met somebody who can understand you completely, who also been teaching for God knows how many years, and they know at what point the climax of the lesson to guide all of your students to sing together with you, to shout out together with you. Now, if you're unlucky, you will meet pretty much a newbie teacher who just probably gonna stood there without doing anything. Okay, so it's all to you again. Okay, so the best way and the easiest way for you guys to do is just say, using the previous one, something like, say it with me. That's a universal thing, trying to signal the student, now it's time for you to shout out, but, at the same time, you're not shouting out, so you don't disturb people who's around you, who's also teaching, okay? So something like this, oh, yeah, okay? Funny to watch, but really works, okay? to produce sample where was I here? Okay, choose individual student to produce sample pronunciation. The more the better. Although I haven't done that in the video, but I do suggest this. Okay, now if you probably a couple of students who sit in front row. Okay, those are the people you want to pick on. Okay, now I don't know. Identify them as the kid wearing the red shirt, the kid who's in front of the table, things like that. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that forget about the contents of the class. Now, do you have to finish the lesson? Yes, of course you do. But spend most of the time, focus most of your energy on getting the students to pronounce words and short phrases, and let them to do stuff. Okay. Same example. If you're teaching the word lion, okay, you might have just tell the student, all right, everybody, show me your hands. Come on, hands. This is your cloud. And then everybody do a big roar. Ah! And chances are the students in the class will follow you, and they will get excited, and then they'll learn better that way. Okay? So that's plenty of practices. Recursive leveled learning cycle basically means, also you can see that from the video, pretty much every word, every question, every command that I give out, I always give them either a high five, a thumb up, a yeah, 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 a ding, 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 things like that. Okay? Also, when I'm, input or introduction from your side, all right? You're telling them the word, how to pronounce this word. And then you can ask the student, simple Q&A, okay? All right, who can shout out this word? Or can you guys say this? I mean, that's a question, okay? And then immediately after that, regardless of, correct pronunciation or not, or, regardless of anything, you give them a thumb up, you give them a high five, okay? And none of those regular high fives will attract the student, okay? Something like, showing your hands like this, and then boom, give them a high five. You might have just adding a little of your own voice, or something like that, would be nice, okay? So the more you do this, believe it or not, okay, at least for the first 2 rows of students, okay, because they're the closest to you, all right, they will start to develop this, because if you're looking at the camera, it feels like you're looking at everybody, like you're looking at you're looking at each and every one of the student, right? So it feels like that, okay, every time you're giving them, great job, that's to him, that's to that student. Right? Although you're not doing that to a particular person, you're doing that to everybody, right? So more and more, they will, their self-esteem will rise, okay? They will feel, hey, you know what? English is not such a difficult language for me to learn. Look at my teacher. I mean, she's so funny and all, okay? So that's what I mean by, also, more fantastic job, excellent, things like that will give the student the confidence to continue learning. Okay, and let me just add one more point. Now, let's just say we're using 3 words: excellent, fantastic, great job. Well, the last one is not a word. Okay, I don't want you guys to just say excellent, good job, fantastic. That will not make any impact to the group of students. So the same word, reward or encouragement I would give would be great, yeah, or something like fantastic, okay, something like that. Now I can actually sense you guys are smiling. You guys are laughing at me. Good. That's exactly what look, you guys are all adults. Okay? If I can get a 25, 26-year-old, forgive me if I got your name wrong. I mean, if I got your age wrong. Okay? If I can get a 25-year-old man or a woman to laugh what I do, I'll be damn right to get all of these 6 or 7-year-old kids to laugh their butts off. Okay? Again, all together, if you combine them all together, that gives you this last content, which is learning comprehensive English. Okay, here I put it, in bold font. It's guided teaching. Now, guided teaching is important in our class, but it's not equal to free talk, normal communication, verbal or oral explanation. Okay, so by asking, hey, how is everybody doing? That would be considered as normal communication. That's a free talk. Okay, you're not gonna get anybody aroused by just hearing that. Okay, now if you're teaching a word, lion. Okay, what is a lion? Just assuming students don't know, there's no picture, okay? What is a lion? Well, a lion is originated in South Africa. It's, it will not make the class funny, and thus not the student, students are not paying attention, and as a result, they don't remember a damn thing at the end of the class, okay? So guided teaching, something, again, going back, all the way back to the blue column, means facial, audio, gestures, hint, okay? Something that close to everyday event. Something that they see, something that they do, okay? I'll give you a very simple example right now. If you're teaching the word ice cream and broccoli, 2 words, okay? You know for a fact that 99.99999% of the children around the globe will love ice cream in nature. And probably 99.99999% of children around the globe will hate eating broccoli. So right here you have a like and dislike. Say in your class, because the New Oriental curriculum will have a lot of these kind of things, okay? Let's say you're teaching the word ice cream, okay? You got a picture in the lesson plan, you circle it, you have the students repeat after you, ice cream! What? I can't hear you. One more time, ice cream! Okay, you circle the word, and then, if you don't have any teaching tools whatsoever, pretend that you're holding an ice cream cone, all right?
And lick it.
Lick it, exactly, all right? Don't think in the other way. We're adults, so we kind of, ooh, what is he doing? Oh my God, what is she doing? Don't think otherwise, all right? Just licking. American people eat ice cream cone like,
Exactly.
okay? Show some tons, all right? So, because you circle the word already, they kind of know what you're talking about. And then you can ask them, do you like ice cream? That's a form of hint, okay? So you're telling the students, you better say yes, unless you're abnormal, okay? So, and then of course guide the students, say, everybody say, pointing at your imaginary ice cream cone, yes, I do. And then have them to repeat, have them to shout out. Same thing goes for the word broccoli, okay? It's green. It's probably not tasty. It's healthy, but it's not tasty. So you circle the word, all right, and you're probably pointing at, or probably this way, you're pointing at the, over this side. So as of the other side, they'll look at you like pointing at the word. All right, how about this word? What is that? Broccoli. Everybody say with me, broccoli. And then 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, okay? And then pointing at the word and say, I better turn my video on. So, okay, pointing at the thing, or in this case up. Okay, do you like broccoli? Okay, don't do something like, I don't like broccoli. very soft tone and whatever. And the kids are like, what? Are you kidding me? All right. So do something like this, and it has to come from within you. Okay. Something like, same thing. You're not supposed to like broccoli. Okay. You're a kid. You don't like broccoli. Period. Okay. Okay. Very point straight. Okay. And then guide them to say, no, I don't. No, 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 no. Something like that. Okay? That's what I mean by guided teaching. Okay? So if you were, because I don't know your teaching style, well, at least for most of you guys, you know your teaching style. So if you're one of those teachers who doesn't want to go all out, who's kind of shy within, and don't just don't want to do anything that's outrageous, stupid, insane, So in other words, insanity is not part of your nature. Then you should really, really take my advice. Do exactly what I just shown you. Okay, because I can guarantee you 100%. You know what? Scratch that, 110%. That when you do something like that in class, your students will fall in love with you. They look at you. Well, mind that they have an 80-inch big screen. Okay, they watch you like they're watching a comic animation movie, and that's something that they like. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, now let's go further. Error correction. I'm gonna spend just 2 minutes on this. Okay, if you look at on the right hand side, okay, Chinese parents love to have their child corrected on pronunciation and grammar. You know that already. Okay, make frequent correction on pronunciation and grammar whenever you hear them. So let's say everybody repeat after me. Let's say the word is I don't know, log. Okay, that's a piece of log. Log! And then you kind of hear somebody saying leg. Okay, you say, what? No! I hear the word leg. That's not leg. Okay, all right, one more time. Log. So in another way, that's a form of correction. Okay, if you hear it, you stop them. You correct them. Because the more you correct them on pronunciation and grammar, the more the Chinese teacher who stands in the class will report to the schoolmasters and say, that teacher is great. She loves to correct our students. Voila! Okay? Now the second thing is Chinese students learn best from their mistakes. If you don't correct them, a lot of Western teachers would find this difficult to do. So like, hey, you know what? I want to show respect, to the student, and having him or her finish their sentence and then do my correction. You know what? It does not work in this case. Okay, the Chinese students, the first time they pronounce it wrong, they pronounce it wrong. End of the story. Okay, so you hear something that's out of the order, you hear something that's not correct, stop them and correct them. Okay. So I just and let's drag you guys back to this group lesson thing, because you have more than 15 or 12 students in the class. You only have 25 minutes for the class. I don't want you to spend a whole lot of time on all right, everybody, let's break into groups of 4, groups of 3. There you go, 10 minutes. That's a 10 minutes group formation right there for you. Okay, so what I would suggest is, tell the Chinese teacher, let's do 2 groups, all right? All the boys is one group, all the girls are in one group. Just do boys versus girls. Bottom line, simple, okay? So instead of having to correct an individual student, which will waste valuable class time, group all the boys and girls together, conduct your error correction for boys and girls. So the same example, I would say, all right, let me hear all the boys in the room say, "Yeehaw." All right, they say "Yeehaw." All right, all the ladies, no, I'm kidding. You're not in the club. All right, all the girls in the class say blah, 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 and then they'll all say that. If occasionally they didn't understand your question or whatever, and then when it's girls' turn, and some boys are like, and then you're like, "Yeah, I got you. Are you a girl?" No, something like that. Okay, class feedback. Despite what you've done in class, okay, you will be able. Well, you're gonna have to log a class evaluation or class feedback. Okay, at the end of class, each class. So it is recommended for the teacher to specifically make the error correction a mandatory thing in your class evaluation or feedback. Okay, you might have just correct 3 times in this class. Oh, where's my hands? Oh, here. Okay, you only did it 3 times, and probably some teachers say, "Oh, you know what? I'm too busy and whatever. I'll say, all right, this class is good." Da, 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 and then they forget to mention this. So this is a mandatory, not required, but to you guys to make high points on you guys. That's mandatory, because if you include this in your class evaluation or feedback, when the parents are reading this, believe me, they understand English. If not, they'll have a dictionary sitting right next to them. So they'll understand what you wrote in the class evaluation. And when they see this, wow, this teacher's very responsible. This teacher's very, care too much about my kid and da 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 da. So let's say, just make sure you make error corrections in class, and make sure you log that into the system, into the class evaluation. Okay, I don't want something you've done, you spend your time, you sweat over it, and without getting recognized by the parents. Okay, that'll be a sin. That's a sin. Okay. Okay, next page. I'm not gonna go any further. You probably know this already. Okay, normally our class are like in this kind of format, where you have a free talk, or a warm up, or an icebreaker, or a lead-in. Okay, that's basically, hey, what's your name? I'm blah blah blah. Da, 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 da. My suggestion is for group classes, don't spend more than a minute on this, okay? In the video, I actually spent 27 seconds, okay? And all I did was to let the student shout out my name. That's it. And of course, the TA's name, okay? That might be something you guys want to do as well, okay? Let's say, let me just get, who's in here? Teacher Rome. All right. Let's say that's yay. Let's say that's your name. Okay. Now, when you're doing this, introduction of yourself to the class, okay. If you see the video, what I did, I weren't just sitting here. Hi guys. Come on, that's not a kick. So what I did was, yay, hi. Okay. At one point, one of the students actually spoke in Chinese, because I can understand them, saying, "Oh my God, what happened in the screen?" Because there's a delay, and when I wave my hand too fast, it kind of blocks the whole screen. They thought it was a tornado or something. Okay, and then I would say, "My name is Teacher Peter." Peter, and then I will say Peter, like one of those old clock, ding dong kind of thing. All right, and then I will say, all right, everybody, I want everybody, all of you guys, to say hello, Peter, which I'm not yelling at right now, but it sounds like I'm shouting out. So I believe the first time the students will say, hi, hello, Peter. All right, and then I heard it, of course, very nicely done, and I was like, what? Huh? Come on, can't hear you. One more time, louder. Hello, Peter. Okay, And the second time, if you see from the video, it actually hurt my ear. They were screaming. Okay, they were screaming. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Now after you do this, of course you'll introduce the beautiful lady with the handsome guy who is your TA. Probably want to talk to this guy. Before get his name first, okay, and then probably followed by a bunch of vocabulary, with pictures and all that, and then some sentence patterns, some role play, or activities, okay, or at the end you have a showtime or a practice game or whatever, okay. So that's our class setup. You guys have been teaching a long time. You should know this already, okay. Not gonna spend more time on that. Now, ooh, beautiful page, nice. Important. One more time. Important. Okay? Something you guys already use. You guys are already using. Okay? But if I were you, I would prepare something like this on my own. This is, basically a heart, a star, a nice stone, something like something you can hold on to. All right, hand puppet. Okay, definitely get one of those. Not stuffed animal, because you're gonna have a hard time grabbing that. So if you don't have one, please go out. Please ask your supervisor to get you one of those. Okay. It could be anything. It could be, a cute little alligator right here. It could be a snake. It could be, a character from from Sesame Street. I don't care what it is, but when you have something like this, it saves you a lot of time to do role play. Okay, a little flower. Okay, flashcards. If you don't have time, if you don't have time to do flashcards, you might want to start drawing something on a piece of paper just to show the students, okay? And here is voice, exactly what I did before. Yeah! That's voice, okay? That's a tool. That's a teaching tool right here, okay? You might want to print out right here, like a tank or something. Just print it out, okay? And then for, let's say, older boy group, they answer the question. Voila, good for you guys. All right, all of you guys, you get a tank right here. I don't have a tank. I have a wallet. That's my wallet. Yeah, money. All right, something like that, okay? Also, for boys, you can get them an airplane. It could be a fighter jet. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, Transformers. Just pictures. Print them out. All right, have that ready. On your table. For girls, give them a diamond ring. Okay, come on. I'll tell you straight up. Most of girls will very much like diamond ring, even though they're like 7 or 8 year old. Okay, a diamond ring will definitely make their day. Or you can download like a Superwoman, Wonder Woman. In this case, it's a Wonder Girl. Superwoman, like a Hello Kitty, Little Pony, Peppa Pig. All kinds of stuff. So, something that's pinkish, something that's like orange. That would all do. Okay, so make sure you have this kind of things ready every time you're teaching a group class. Now, do you have to show all of this when you're facing a bunch of high school kids? Hell no. All right, they'll think you're weird. But anything that's like grade school, elementary school, little kids, all of this will definitely make their day. Okay. So, next page. Student-teacher interaction. Okay, now, sometimes it's class. Well, I basically covered all of this already. Okay, now let's just go for this. All right. Basically, there are 4 different styles of student-teacher interaction. One, I've mentioned that before, simple Q&A style. Okay, very commonly used technique in classes. All right, but the only thing is you have to keep your Q short and simple. short and simple. You don't need to explain the whole question to the kids. Okay? Now, if you want them to, let's say, let's say, same thing. I'm showing you a flashcard. This flashcard is, let's say the word is, oh, right here, Visa. The word is Visa, all right? I'm showing you this little flashcard, okay? All right. My simple question will be, what's this word? Raise your hand. What's this word? Come on, come on, come on. That's a question, all right? Very short. You don't have to explain what Visa is. Oh, it's right here. What Visa is? I have a gold card. You don't have to explain all that. Okay. Yeah, it's a gold card, but I actually don't have money on this. All right. So Q&A. Make it short and simple. Now the second one is role play. Okay. Role play, you could do it with your hand puppet. I don't have one. Again, let's say this is oh hey oh. This is my friend, Mr. Alligator. This is my friend, Mr. Blah blah blah. This is whoever. Okay. Mingo or somebody. Okay. All right, everybody say hello to Mingo. Hello, Mingo. Hey, how you doing? Things like that. All right. Now you can also do this boys versus girls interaction. All right. All the boys say the question. All the girls answer it. Okay. Now, if you don't have a very well distributed ratio in the class, you don't have to do boys and girls. You do left and right. Okay. Everybody from the left side, everybody from the right side, okay? Something like that. Teacher versus teacher, it's what we call a demonstration style. So basically, if you want somebody to repeat things with you, the best way is to ask that teacher. That teacher who speaks some English in the class. All right, Miss, let's say the teacher's name is Jenny, okay? All right, Miss Jenny, can you repeat this word with me? Blah, blah, blah. She's going to be, na, 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 okay? And then, since she's right there in the class, she sets up a very good example for the student, and then you can turn around and ask all the boys, all the girls, people who are on the left, people who are on the right, okay? So demo style interaction will happen between you and the Chinese teacher, okay? Last one is a game style, okay? Be very careful on this one, okay? Limit the games that you play, in class to a biparticiple game only. Something, stand up, sit down. Raise your hand, put your hands down, okay? Something like that. Two motions. Okay, so don't get them games and whatever. Okay, everybody stand up, form a circle. You're gonna spend 5 minutes right there. All right, everybody show me your hands, and then hitting the shoulder, or place your hand on the shoulder of of the person next to you. Don't do something like that because it's wasteful, in your class time. Okay. Last one is very simple. You guys should know that already. Just take a look at that class presentation, okay? Just look at it. It's straightforward, okay? Now, I would also recommend you guys to take out your cell phone, okay? No, not right now, okay? Take out your cell phone, and then almost every cell phone right now, okay, these days, they will have an alarm clock function, right? And in there, you should have a timer. So, right. What I do is don't set the minute. Well, don't set your time at 25 minutes. Okay. But whenever you start your class, just hit that start button on timer, and then just kind of glance it, once in a while. Okay. And then you will know whether or not you're going too fast, too slow. Okay. Which is exactly what I did in my class. If you know the class, I finished class about 10, well, not 10, like 7 minutes early. Okay, so I end up drawing them like a trophy, going back to review it, and then sing the song again and all that to make up that 7 or 8 minutes. Okay, so overall, I guess all this training today, it means a couple things. One, when you're teaching a group lesson, you have to be hyper yourself. Otherwise, your class is same as a dead drop, basically. Okay, so there's no fun in your class. In order to be fun and energetic in class, you as a teacher have to become very involved, very like moving up and down, left and right. Okay, I'm training you right now. Look at me. I am sweating. I don't know if you can see that, but I am sweating like a pig. Okay, so I am more involved. Exactly, I am more involved in this. Now, if you watch the video towards the end, you can see actually, I had to, take, I believe I used like just some paper, okay, to wipe the sweat off my forehead. Why? Because when it gets in my eyes and I couldn't even open my eyes. Okay, that's how involved I was. Not asking you guys to be same as me, to be so crazy and whatever. But if you don't sweat after coming down from a group lesson, you didn't do a damn good job. I can tell that right now. Okay? So, be more involved. That's number one. Number two, together and loud. You know what I'm talking about, right? Together and loud, all the time, constantly. If you hear something out of the ordinary, stop them and make correction, and then repeat again. Okay? Do you have to involve in grammar? Well, at least for you guys, for that curriculum, you don't have to worry about a thing. You don't have to. I've been informed by the school. You do not have to worry about a thing, on grammar. You don't have to teach them grammar at all. Okay? However, they specifically requested they want to hear a lot of practice in the class. So I guess that's what you're going to have to do. All right? So that's the training today. All right? Now, I will try to record more sample class videos. Okay? And then I'll keep uploading them. Now, I believe the most of you guys is going to teach starting at the 10th, if not 15th or 13th. So try your best. That's all I'm going to say, okay? Try your best, all right? Be crazy, be stupid, be insane, outrageous, okay, in the class. And then hope to hear, good news from you guys, okay?
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Cool. It's 3 o'clock now, and I promise you, some of you guys have class later on. I've seen a couple of people already dropped out. They're lost because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this one. Well, I'm doing this again, but definitely not with the same people. Okay. So, if you guys want, I'll coordinate this to send you their lesson plans ahead of the time, so you can at least spend some time to go over the lesson plan, know what you're dealing with. Other than that, just upload the regular lesson plans like you usually do, in a one-on-one class. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Nice. All right. So if you got a class, please go. I do apologize. Can't even talk today. I do apologize if I, keep you guys holding up. Okay. So I'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sophia.
See ya. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
See you guys
Bye.
later. All right. If you don't have the video, let me know. I'll just upload them again. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
All right. See ya.